Well, they're dissing health care again. Gruber, Schumer, and now Harkin. Now, I'm all for people admitting mistakes. That's fine. I do it all the time. But this one is a doozy because it involves Senator Tom Harkin, one of Obamacare's authors, saying, and I quote, "We had the power to do it in a way that would have simplified health care, made it more difficult, more efficient, I should say, and made it less costly, and we didn't do it." So I look back and say we should have either done it the correct way or not done anything at all. Now, that is not what he was saying when they were pushing this puppy. Take a listen.
I don't care how many times the minority wants to drag it out and slow it down to try to kill this bill will pass the United States Senate.
Stand strong for the American people. Now is not the time to go wobbly in the knees.
I think the wind is at our back. I think people now see that this is actually going to happen. We're actually going to pass a health care bill. This is a great achievement.
And now an achievement that he regrets. So while the sudden change of heart among Democrats increasingly ripping the health care law, Pat, something's going on. What is it?
Yeah, there is. I just got to take a second, though, and say I'm really disappointed by what happened in New York because I think it will now validate the false narrative and undo the truth of what happened in Ferguson. But that's just my take. But anyway, let me tell you what's happening. The Democratic Party is falling apart on this and immigration because the numbers are very bad, which we now have. When I think I was on with you the night this passed, and we were covering it, and I said this was a crime against democracy, and the American people would never accept it. What we now know is it is full of, from the beginning, lies, bribery, deals, whatever, and that the very people passing it didn't have the courage of their convictions to stand up for what was right.
Why are they saying Harkin's out?
Because they're in political trouble.
Schumer, he has no danger of being thrown out there.
No, but I think
don't know. Something's going on.
Well, something's going on. It's called politics. They just got crushed in the election. Not that the Republican leadership has any idea that the American people just voted to stop Obama, not to fall over and surrender, which seems to be their plan now. But Harkin just saw his state lose the Senate seat they should have had, jeopardize other seats. Other Democrats are looking at this saying, we're going to go under on this stuff. And that is what is happening. So Harkin, who wanted a single-payer system, essentially the public option, is a road to a. He didn't stand up for it. The Democrats who, like Schumer, thought they should have done what I believe as a Democrat that your mandate was to help ordinary people, went to satisfy their interest groups, the insurance companies and the drug industry, and everybody else who bought off the White House. And what we have is a plan that is falling apart, that people don't like. It's only going to get worse. And these people are looking at the election results and panicking, as they are on immigration, where you already have 5 Democratic senators who have said they disagree with what the president did and oppose what he did, even though the Republican leadership doesn't seem to grasp that they have the wind to their back. Democrats are panicking because they're watching their base collapse. And what you're seeing is the left wing of the party and the centrist wing of the party starting to go, oh, my God, what are we doing here? Because they know one thing about Barack Obama. He's fully prepared to sacrifice them in the future. So people like Tom Harkin, who care what happens in Iowa, care what happens to their party now, are now having to come forward with the truth and say, oh, we shouldn't have done this, which turns out to make a lie of every single thing they do. It is why the American people hate the political class in Washington, Democrat and Republican both.
Patrick, well put. Thank you very, very much. Pat Goodell. We're waiting to hear back in New York from many, many ministers, including Al Sharpton later tonight. Not that we'll be hearing that and all, but others who will weigh in on this. But maybe they should listen to this Rev, the Rev who you apparently think really rocks.
Take racism out the equation. Let's take the police department out the equation. And let's look at our own communities. Eric Holder, Obama, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Najee Ali, any of these activists have to look themselves in the mirror before protesting to anyone else in their community and say, we need to change. I'm doing your job.